As usual, powered by Goose Island. Cheers, fellas. We have some special guests in the tub today. We have the Panayonovich brothers.
Some fancy boys.
We've got Sam in this corner. He's a gambling expert at Nesson in Boston. Also a former media member here in Chicago. And then we have Adam in this corner, former White Sox farmhand. And current 16-inch softball player, which he's dominating in Sunday League, is what he was telling us right before we got in the hot tub here.
Said everybody sucks balls in that league.
Thanks for joining us, boys.
He pitches overhand in that league.
That's right. Teresi, we got a humble brag?
Yes. We survived yet another season. With everything trying to kill us these days, we made it through. Well, almost.
Almost. We got one
a
more
couple
game.
more hours. But it'll also be
the reaper can come for us then. We don't know.
It'll also be our first playoffs together since the first year that me and Beef had season tickets. So that was a long time ago. I didn't have gray hair back then.
John Banks had a shoulder back then.
And he didn't murder anyone.
Well, we didn't know he threw anyone off his balcony back then. Yeah. A lot of things we didn't know what happened. That's right, exactly. It's an all-question show, as it usually is. So we're going to start off with longtime guy Matt Ramsey. And Matt Ramsey wants to know glory holes or bathroom beers. I'm going to start with myself, Summer, since he's an expert on this, and he defended the toilet beer vehemently on the last podcast.
I've drank bathroom beers. I've never experienced a glory hole, so I'm always up for something new. Glory holes. Let's go.
Tracy, how about you?
So I can't think of glory holes now without thinking of the Family Guy episode where he's on the Grindr app, but it's an app where you get sandwiches from other dudes. And there's a glory hole, and a meatball sandwich comes through the hole, and he bites into it, and then he just, with his mouth full, says, "Are you also married?" So I'm going glory hole. That's what I think they are now, so I can go for a sandwich.
So you'll eat random meat coming out of a hole, but you won't drink a beer that's been in the bathroom.
Yep. Yeah. As long as he's married.
As long as everyone's married.
Sam, how about you?
Just in case HR watches this, I'll say bathroom beers.
It's like a strong play. Adam, how about you?
I'm going to give you the decisive answer on the fifth one, so I'm going to go with bathroom beers. So you got to choose the
winner. I gotta get the winner.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about this a lot, and like I think I've just gone into the bathroom beer thing. I'll go glory hole. No matter which direction I gotta be in.
See,
you know, it's a coin flip. What side you're gonna be on? You don't even know.
We're team glory hole, guys.
So
everyone knew that going in, right?
We'll see you in the stalls, everyone.
That's a 210. All right, the next question is from Loud Chuck. And Loud, I think he's directing this towards Treasy and I. Did you guys actually graduate from De La Salle?
Yeah.
Yes. Why am I wearing a fucking Letterman's jacket to taunt Cristiano? What? I think I made that up or what? What the fuck?
You can buy those at thrift stores. I've seen them. Not usually your size.
I kind of wonder what part he thought we were lying about. Like that we didn't go to De La Salle or that we didn't graduate high school.
Exactly. You know, Treasy was one of those smarty pants dudes. He was like top 10 in his class, all that shit. You know, fancy boy.
I bet the teachers hated you. Because you show up 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, ace the test.
Drinking a pot.
I notoriously missed many days of school, and yet still did well. You could attest. There was a year when I was in grade school, and I used to get like really bad migraines, so there was some legitimacy to it, but not a lot of legitimacy. But I missed like 50 days of school.
Yeah, you missed like a third of the calendar. It's like, fuck it, I don't
And they
need to
still
be here.
put you through because they didn't want to deal with
Well,
you anymore.
what's funny too is like I would miss a day of school and then play in the basketball game that night.
I was one of those kids.
Oh man.
Yeah, you never
A
had
hero.
You never had to study either. I'd be studying my ass off. You wouldn't even look at studying some shit, and the next day you'd ace your fucking test. I was always so jealous of your time. So,
Beer?
Loud Chuck, yes, we did graduate from
Don't
DSL.
drop them.
The next question is from White Sox Sal.
Fuck you, Sal. Happy Sunday soap.
That's right. And Sal asks, who did more coke, Stu Unger or Artie Lang?
Can you believe that Artie Lang outlived Norm Macdonald?
I cannot.
Oh, that's
Unbelievable.
Insane.
Unbelievable.
He's been sober for a while, and actually he hadn't tweeted for a really long time until like a couple days ago, and then he was posted a picture of a caramel macchiato, and people were like, "Thank God!" Everyone was like, "Where's the day party? You haven't tweeted it forever, and your best friend just died, and you haven't tweeted anything." So I'm gonna go with Stu Unger because I don't really know who that is.
Sammy, how about you?
I'm going to say Artie. I'll tell a quick story. So Artie was on Chicken Dinner in like 2017, and him and Norm started doing these fire bets, lightning bets.
Yeah.
So a lightning bet is every point you go over, you win whatever you bet. Every point it goes under, you lose plus the vig, you know?
Yeah.
They said that they lightning bet every game over of the Bulls-Jazz finals.
Yeah.
When you could literally put the guys in handcuffs, you know? They said
Yeah,
they broke.
Jazz had 59 points in one of those games.
Yes.
One game they lightning bet the over. It was like 197, and the final was 74-70. Artie goes, we broke even for the tour, like, and they just got crushed. So I'll say Artie.
Treasy, how about you?
I'm going Artie only because, like, if I'm thinking of a more prolific cocaine user, it's Artie, because his career of cocaine use spans so long.
Right.
Stu Unger was like a one-hit wonder, right? Like he was dead pretty quick. So like he had a lot of hits really quick. It's like, think of Guns N' Roses' career. Like all their hits came on like the first album and a half.
Yeah.
You know? That's Stu
Yeah.
Unger. Artie's got more of like a Led Zeppelin-esque career of like into his solo
It's
stuff.
like the doobies. He keeps putting albums out.
AC/DC, you know, of cocaine. Yeah.
Adam, what do you think?
I'm going Artie Lang solely for the fact that whenever I gotta like look up the terrible side effects of overdosing on cocaine, I would look up a picture of Artie Lang and look at that nose.
Just fucking collapsed on itself.
In fact, I also don't know who the hell this new guy is.
I'll also go Artie Lang.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know who Stu Unger is, there's a movie called High Roller, which Michael Imperioli plays Stu Unger. It's really good. Check it out. You'll get 90 minutes worth of what his career
Stu
was.
Unger, one of the absolute best poker players
Yeah.
of all time. But he had a lot of vices.
And he was allegedly the best gin rummy player to ever live. Like he could fucking call out every single card in the other person's hand type shit. And there's a scene in the movie where he counts down the guy's cards and tells him exactly what he's holding. So it's interesting, fun movie. So check that out, Stu Young. But yeah, it's Artie Lang. He's also Artie Lang's a fat ass. So
Did Stu die from an overdose?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so by nature he did more cocaine.
Not necessarily, but that's a shelf life issue.
Depends how you look at it, right?
Not
Are you
really.
saying if you're thinking single game versus
No, he's thinking quantity.
That's how you doing it, right?
He's thinking
Like, yeah.
quality versus quantity.
Like,
That's not.
At one time, Stu definitely did way more cocaine than Artie.
Right.
Because Artie never killed himself or never died from it, you know? He overdosed, but I don't think he never
But
died.
to Beef's point, Artie's
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah, he's a bigger guy than
He is bigger.
Stewie's a real small guy. So that's
Stu's
what
like
you do.
Adam and Artie's like you.
Yeah.
All right, next
See,
question.
you can pick on me 'cause I'm
Next
I'm
question is
taking a
from
white
Josh
claw.
Nelson. And Josh says, this is a question for Sammy P and Sammy P only. What do you think the 2022 AL MVP odds for Luis Robert will be?
If I was a bookmaker, I'd be taking bets at 20-1.
Okay.
But I mean, that's how good I think he could be. But you know, the thing about the American League market is that you have Mike Trout. So when you have Mike Trout, he's going to be 2-1 every single year. So you could afford to make other guys a little higher. I'd probably guess the number comes out at 30-1 on Robert.
Wow. Could be tasty.
I'd have a piece of that.
Yeah, I think I would
Just like
too.
that, B's gonna have a piece of your face.
You're going to swallow more than normal.
But remember, Robert was was 50 to 1 last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, knocking him down from 50 to 30 in one season is a sign of respect.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a nice move there. Next question from Ken WO, and Ken asks, "What did Sam do with the money he won from us last year in MLB teams wins pick'em pool?" I'm interested to hear this too.
That money was spent ASAP. Probably on a future bet, or probably on some 99 bananas. Thank you, Ken. You know the best part about that is that Ken talked shit the whole draft, the whole month of March, the whole month of April, and I think he finished in almost last place.
He finished in last.
Oh,
he had to pay the double. Yeah, when you finish last in that pool, you got to pay double.
And I also, when he sent the money, he sent it from some other name.
Yeah.
You know, you guys sent it from your names. I think it was from his cousins or his wife's account. So I mean, the money was good, but yeah, that's long gone.
So what you're saying is Ken don't even got his own money. Oh
Ken,
man, I didn't realize that.
Ken keeps his financials off the internet. He's off the grid when it comes to his
Yeah,
financials.
it was like Lululemon sent me $400. I don't know who this is, but it checked out.
If I could piggyback on that, I know my brother, that money was for sure spent the second that it was.
I respect that.
That's what we do.
That's how we live.
All right, the next question is from Chicago Brush Lion. And Lion says, unlike Ken Griffey Jr.'s debilitating gigantism on The Simpsons, who on the current White Sox roster could benefit from a little imposing size? Adam, I'd like to start with you. Who would you hulk up a little bit? Maybe grow in height and in size on the current White Sox. Griffey.
This would be a very good answer depending on how he answers this.
Yeah. So we're saying just general size, right?
Yeah.
Size in general.
Just getting bigger.
Just bigger, yeah.
Solely
Yeah,
for the
not
fact that his last name is Bummer and he's my guy, and I had to give an Aaron Bummer shout out there. Can you imagine just an imposing ass dude that looks like he's about 6'8", 280, and his last name's Bummer?
Got the beard all the big red beard all the way out there. Yes.
Just solely that answer, just to give my boy Aaron Bummer a shout out. That's the whole answer.
And you got the nickname because he'll never drive anywhere. So
Yeah.
he always is bumming rides. You know? And then he's moving your shit in the back seat.
My Sox summer. How about you? Who you?
I'm gonna go with Garcia because I feel like if Lueri was like a little bit bigger, like he could be a power hitter, you know, and maybe have a little speed.
I agree with you. If Larry was 6'2", he'd be a fucking superstar.
Yeah,
But he's like 5'6".
Yeah.
Or whatever, you know?
He's got the swing.
And he drinks my wine.
And he's built powerfully. He's just not
Yeah,
big enough
and
to
he
leverage
has a
it
little
all.
power now
Yeah.
as a little man. So if he got bigger,
Yeah.
all the better. Bigger is always better. That's what they always tell me.
Allegedly. Sammy, how about you?
If Leary was fatter and couldn't run, though, he'd be in Double A.
That's right. He'd be a member of the 108.
Why do
Don't
I
ruin
want
it. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
Why do I want to see Dylan Cease weigh 280 pounds? You know, see, like, imagine what that stuff could do with a bigger body and a bigger arm. He's kind of frail. I mean, I think he's in good shape, but if he was, if he had more juice in the arm, he'd be throwing 104. Nobody would know where it's going to go, including him.
Yeah.
And then that curve would be about, the slider would be like 96.
That'd be amazing.
It would be unhittable.
I think that's the scouting 101 is Dylan Cease was always scouted for his pliability, his flexibility, and then there's that caveat where if you add muscle, like he's probably going to throw harder, and he already throws 99 with 80% effort. It looks like, and it's like you add some muscle to it, you don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Incredible. Treasy, how about you?
I mean, the thing is, you got to think of someone who can carry their weight.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to lean in to Lance Lynn.
Yes.
And you're like, Lance Lynn, just fucking gigantic. Just like so big that like he carries a sandwich around in his pocket. Like when they check in his belt, there's a hoagie in there. Oh shit!
That's exactly where my mind was. We did that segment in the podcast.
You got to get a little oil, mix it with the rosin. Oh, then you got the even higher spin rate.
Just snap that thing off.
How you get a good grip? Genoa salami. Rub it between my fingers.
He already throws 4 fastballs, throwing the salami fastball.
And the fifth one to the mix, you know. I agree with that because we had the podcast segment, and I thought Lance Lynn could still pitch like Lance Lynn at 400 pounds.
Like how big
On Baseball Reference, it says he's 275
No
or whatever.
shot.
There's no way he's only 275 to begin with.
No
I think he's going up to 400.
290.
He could be Tony Siragusa on the mound, in my opinion. You know.
So we only got him for one more year after this.
Let's bulk him up,
They
baby.
bulk him up like CC Sabathia. The knees are not going to hold up.
No.
We just need him for the 1 year.
That's-
Just need him for the 1
When
year.
he lost weight, he was
Well,
a different pitcher.
The playoffs this year and then next year.
Okay.
He's gigantic.
The World Series this year and the next.
White though, he started losing B-Lo. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next question is from Dominic Lipkin. Dominic says, if the White Sox make the World Series, which team would you like them to face? Treasy, why don't you start?
So I think a lot of people are like, man, that Sox Brewers thing would be awesome. But
Yeah,
we
no
would
thanks.
try and go to a bunch of those
Yeah.
games and we would die.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna actually go and say I want to see the San Francisco Giants in there. I know they've been great. I'm waiting for them to fall apart at any minute, ruin my season bet, and I'm getting attacked by a bee.
Just came over here now.
But yeah, I'm going to the Giants.
Awesome.
I want to see the Giants keep going. Like, I love what they're doing.
Sammy, how about you?
I've got 3 answers.
Oh,
I'd
like
love
it.
to beat the fuck out of the Cubs, but they didn't make it.
They're not there.
Mathematically, you want to face the Braves, but man, I want to take the Dodgers down.
Ah,
Like everybody
yeah.
talks about how good the Dodgers are and how many wins they got and how awesome their organization is. You want to beat the best? I want to take down the Dodgers.
Love it. MSS?
Sticking purely selfish reasons, I would love to see the Cardinals and the White Sox in the World Series. I would think that would be the all-time best series for me.
The La Russa
The,
series.
Yeah.
the La Russa series,
Yeah.
but also my wife's cousin's a pitcher for the Cardinals. So it'd be really great to see TJ go to the fucking World Series and then get beat over here on the Sox.
Adam, how about you?
Sam took my answer there. It's just, I don't know, maybe coming from an athletic, or not an athletic, I should say from a competitive standpoint. You wanna beat the best, and I've just, every time I see a Dodgers fan, I just feel like they're so full of shit. they think that they're the best thing since sliced bread, and I just feel like if you are looking for a good series, you want Sox to take down the Dodgers and take down that pitching staff, and I think our offense could take down that pitching staff.
I love it.
That's a great answer. I also,
Yep.
oh yeah, just
it's
like
close,
that.
it's close.
I'm with Treasy. I would go with the Giants. Also, because I could possibly fly to San Francisco, work the day at another office we got in San Francisco, and then go to the games.
Oh, I like
So
that.
you never know. You never know. We might be able to line that up.
Can I get a job there too?
No. The next question is from Wendell. And Wendell says, well, talking about Moncada's mama making a more aggressive hitter at the plate. I think the answer is yes, because
What's the
he got more
backstory?
aggressive. I just want to know which one of us did talk about his mama and he hurt. That's what I want to know.
So what's funny was we were sitting with Wendell at
Friday
the
night.
game the other day.
I don't
and,
remember.
And we were talking about this a little bit, just like, do you think that finally enough shit has been talked about Moncada that he's gonna get fired up? And I like the question. I think it'll be someone like Ken WO who will make the mistake of talking about his mama, and
I
then
can see
he'll
that.
go nuts, and then he'll see Ken out in the streets and be the best.
Yeah.
That'll be his next music video.
First of all, Ken is the most likely to go to Hooters in Maryville. So
That's
definitely one of the
That's true.
Yeah, the people from Maryville, the wings are better here. I'm like, no, they're not. They're the same wing. Who better?
I don't think Moncada's going for the wings particularly.
Nice. There you go, Treasy.
I don't think anyone has a sweeter swing in the majors right now
Than Moncada.
I know that goes away from the question, but I could watch him probably hit BP for 3 hours straight.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the discussion was like, have him hit the ball with more authority, hit the ball more loft, and even just swinging more in the zone. He's super patient, like uber patient hitter.
I remember being in that locker room when they traded. They were talking about trading Sale. I don't remember exactly when the trade was. I think it was in the offseason. But, Sale thought he was going to go for a long time. And I think the breaking point for Sale, because he knew he was dead man walking, was when they used those old uniforms.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, I'm going to cut all these uniforms up. He didn't last much longer after that. But, I mean, really, that trade could be a trade that works out both ways because the Red Sox won a World Series with Sale. And if the White Sox win a World Series with Moncada and Michael Kopech, it's like, people are, the Red Sox won the trade. Well, you don't know that yet.
Right.
I hate that question because you can never really assess how a trade went until you look back after 10 years.
Right,
Sometimes
yeah.
even longer.
Plus, you can't even if they don't win the World Series, they were at least close. They brought the Sox closer to getting to that point. Like, you have two guys that have contributed to this team. Kopech not as much, but also been hurt. Moncada, for sure, is
He's one of the best players on the squad. All right, the next question is from Mailman Jack. And I think I'm going to probably lead off with you on this one, Treasy, just for obvious reasons. He says the ALDS is featuring 2 septuagenarian managers. That would be La Russa and then Dusty Baker. Where do you see yourself when you're in your 70s?
It's a toss-up.
I don't know what you guys are gonna do with my body. So either I'm a
We'll
worm piece
put your
or
urn
I'm
here.
in an urn.
Yeah, we'll put-
in the tub.
We'll put the urn
A
in
little
here.
floaty urn.
How about you, Sam? What
I don't know how to follow that. I hope I'm not around at 80. Like I always thought 79 and a half would be a good number for me to go.
I like the gambler and you put the hook on.
Yeah, you gotta add the
79
hook.
79.
Always add the hook. That way there's no ties on the hook. I hope I'm living somewhere like on an island where I don't have to see anybody personally. If you're my friend or my brother, you can
Not a
come
single
through.
person.
Yeah, no, I mean, I want to be away from society.
Being this jammed in the tub has already had an effect.
No, I'll come here until I turn 70. I don't know that anybody else will be here, but I will be here.
Sam's moving to Wisconsin.
MSS, what do you think?
I feel like I'll probably still be in this area, and we'll be remembering your brother sitting in hot tubs. Probably won't be on the internet anymore.
I would guess not. No one
That
will
many ruddy eggs.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
But, hopefully we're still alive and we're still going to games in remembrance of your brother.
That's right.
I will take over the seats in row 13, and yeah, just keep going.
Get put our walkers like
Yeah,
this.
our daughters will walk us down there. Get us some soft pretzels.
So then we can
The
chew.
$6 cheese sauce.
Adam, how about you?
I'm gonna take another opportunity to give another shout out, and this is to an actual location, and that is RIP to the former Sox farm team, the Great Falls Voyagers. When I was in Montana, man, I never been to that part of the U.S. before, and that seeing that mountainside and kind of piggybacking on Sam, like not seeing anybody and kind of getting lost in nature, if you will. I never thought that'd be my lifestyle. I love Chicago. I love the area. I love people, but retiring that way into the great Northwest, if you will.
The big sky country.
Yeah, big sky, and that's an understatement, man.
Yeah,
that Montana is incredible, and RIP Great Falls Voyagers. Well, they're still an independent team, but no longer affiliated.
So Sammy's gonna move to some island, and Adam's gonna become the Unabomber.
That's what I'm getting so far.
Yeah.
No, you guys have
What are you gonna do?
some great grand ideas. I think probably what I'm going to do is I'll be living somewhere really close to here.
You'll be here.
And
soon. You'll be right
And when I
here.
drive around the neighborhood, I see these old timers, and I'm driving to work anymore. It's 9 in the morning. It's hot in the morning. They're out there shirtless, just getting some sun. That's gonna be me. I'll be the guy that's watering the pavement in front of his house. That's gonna be my. So I think I'll be here in Bridgeport. I think I'll just be chilling, doing my same old shit.
I just imagine you and on like one of those folding beach chairs, you
Yep.
know, like where like the intertwine,
Yep.
just sitting out in front of your garage.
Yep.
And drinking a gigantic cup of coffee and just swearing at the cars that go by. Don't go so fucking fast.
And then I'll come down with some Baileys, and then we'll drink it in remembrance of your brother.
Moral of the story: Teresa's dead.
All right, next
Sorry,
question. Next question
She's
from
not
Millennial,
mad about it.
Millennial Sox
That's
fan.
great.
Millennial Sox fan says, if you could compare TLR's managing this year to any fictional baseball manager, who would it be and why? I think we should include all sports coaches, etc., that were in movies, fictional characters. Teresa, you go first.
Jimmy Dugan. Because once LaRusso woke up, it seemed like he was doing pretty good. But he was asleep for like at least the first month of the season.
Yeah.
Like just like passed out drunk for the first half,
It took a while to get the inertia going. You know?
we were at like 50% allowed capacity
Yeah.
when he woke up.
That's when the crowd got locked up
Yeah.
for him.
Yep.
MSS, what about you?
Buttermaker. 100%.
Oh, that's a good one.
Fucking, I mean, he has the sort of past,
Yep.
you know, and he basically, you have these ragtag kids, right, that don't listen, whatever, and you let them do their thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what
How about you, Adam? What do you think?
I'm racked here. Sam, what's the guy? Tire World.
Lou Brown.
Lou Brown.
How'd you like to manage in the big leagues? I don't know.
I just wanted to say Tire World.
I got a guy on the other line about some white balls.
Yeah, no reason other than Tire World. That's it.
Sam, how about you?
I piggyback off the thing here. Buttermaker is the perfect example. You cannot top that answer.
I'm gonna go outside of baseball. My choice. I'm gonna go with Coach Norman Dale because I think this situation is like the fans initially hated the motherfucker, didn't want him, tried to get him out of there, get this guy out of here, and then the superstar came along, Tim Anderson and said, I got this guy's back. We're together. Put his arm around him. Jose Abreu. And that's what Jimmy Chitwood did. So I see the parallels there. I mean, hopefully we're cruising towards the same type of thing, with that Hoosiers team.
And as soon as Timmy did that, everyone forgave La Russa, and it was all peace and harmony.
And the best part about going to the Sox game or watching the Sox, I watch a lot more on TV now, being out of the state.
You don't live here.
The best is when they show La Russa in 83 and La Russa in 21. Side-by-side headshots, it makes me laugh every single time.
Wait till we do that for the 108.
Oh, shit.
Insane.
We don't even got it. We do 5 years, it'll look like that.
Oh, my God.
That's how we be.
True.
Next question is from Billy Reffeld, and Billy says, the Sox win the World Series this year, but you have to chop off an arm or a leg. Do you do it for the auto championship? And if so, which are you picking?
No, I mean, like, at first I saw this question, and I didn't see who it was from.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not chopping off an arm. And then I was like, wait a second. This guy understands what it's like to live without a leg.
Yeah, he's got a prosthetic leg.
And you know what? I want to chug a leg beer with Billy. So I'll take out my left leg. The knee's already fucked.
Yeah.
So like, I mean,
So what's the difference?
Right. Why not?
Blow it, who cares?
This plays into why you'll be dead in second base.
I'm going piece by piece.
Yeah,
you might live longer. You don't need as much blood flow then. You cut off. Conserve it for the rest of the body.
Or at least one part of it.
I'll win the weight loss bet. I'll win the weight loss bet.
Adam, what do you think?
You know what? I would never chop off a limb for an automatic World Series bid, and honestly, I don't think I would have to with this team. That's how good I feel about it. And honestly, I've always been on the Tony La Russa train this whole year. I feel like people always dogged him for this, dogged him for that. When Tony La Russa gets into the playoffs, his team's going to play 10 times harder. I think Keuchel's going to have a good start. I think Hendricks is going to play. I mean, he hasn't been playing bad, but Kimbrel, I really think that the playoffs with Tony La Russa is in our favor.
I like it.
I'm keeping all my limbs, and I still think we're going to go to the World Series. Maybe that's just diehard Sox fan in me, but yeah.
I love it. I love that enthusiasm. My Sox something.
I will donate a leg. I'm done playing like sports that I have to run.
Donate.
I'm like, I don't really need to like. I was just gonna give it up. I'll chop that right off.
Well, we'll get into that later.
Yeah, that's true.
I bet you gave a lot of plasma. I will not cut off. I won't Mike Vrabel myself either. No, pass. I appreciate the question.
You guys are younger though. Like you haven't.
Yeah, so we still appreciate our legs.
Yeah.
So you probably still run and stuff. Like I can't run anymore. Like that's over.
I'm surprised that you guys went leg. I mean, I almost think left arm is to go with because the robotics now are fantastic. I might get a better arm than what I already got right now. My fucked up left arm might improve.
I play bass. I need both.
You can't have no metal shit up there. Actually, it might create some new sounds.
There used to be a band in Chicago where the bass player actually is for his picking hand. He had a hook.
No,
So
really?
he put a pick in the hook and played. It was awesome. He's a
lot.
better bass player than I'll ever be.
If he tries hard.
That's impressive.
Because I suck.
All right, next question is from Dan Pierce. Dan said, would any of you consider buying a fake Daniel Palka Southside City jersey? Yes, I would.
I consider buying a real one.
Exactly.
There's people that have the Cubs Suck 69 Southside jerseys. I would definitely take a Daniel Palka 18.
Like, I kind of like that. We haven't fully embraced it yet, but I think we're going to in the next couple of years. The fallen soldiers from the rebuild that we had fun with over those years when the years were lean. It's like we were watching all these games, being at these games, and Daniel Palka provided us a nice 2000.
There was nothing quite like covering that lineup. You see the lineup, you get there probably games at 1:10. You get there at 10. You see Palka's hitting third, Matt Davidson's hitting fourth. These guys might strike out 10 times.
Fucking home run alley, bro.
Come on.
Home run alley.
Swing and a miss.
That's going to be 2 homers.
It could be, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was 27 times. One guy for Daniel Palka.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Hey,
perfect,
baby.
Of course he does.
Wonderful.
Show's over.
That's it. It's a wrap. Our next question is from Jeff, and Jeff says, "If you were a baseball player, Adam actually was a baseball player. If you were a baseball player, what would your walk-up song be to the plate? You mind if I go first? I'd go with Lil' Kim, Magic Stick.
We've been asked a few times, and I'm always coming up with, I think, with like a different song that I like and stuff. And I'm not even gonna come up to a song now. I'm just gonna have the part from Princess Bride where Inigo Montoya is yelling that you killed my father, prepare to die. I'm just gonna have that blaring.
Oh my God.
As he like crescendos up on it.
Yeah.
People would be scared with me coming up to the place with it. Especially because they could easily believe that my name is Inigo Montoya.
Yep. Pretty much.
Good call. Sammy, next.
I thought for years, because you start covering these games, you hear a lot of walk-up songs and stuff. I thought forever the best walk-up song or entrance song would be "Wake Up" by Rage.
Oh,
And I thought that for a long time. And who comes out with this? Their first game as a Chicago Cub, Aroldis Chapman. He comes out, and the first time Chapman ever came in. I was like, damn, man. Like, Wrigley was shaking. And then he's throwing 103, 104. That is the answer. Easily.
By Sack Summer.
I like normally I'll say "There Goes the Neighborhood" by Body Count, but a song that I've like been getting more into is the "Rain in Blood" by Slayer. I think that would be a good one with the I think I'm gonna have to go with that one now. As a batter, if I'm gonna be a closer though, "There Goes the Neighborhood" is definitely my
Now, Adam, you were a pitcher, but flip it over. But let's.
Well, I mean, pitchers, we still had. I mean, in the minor league system, you still have one song that you take the mound to.
Okay.
So starters, you get one song in the first inning, and then relievers, you normally get a song, and it kind of factors in between all the quirks and sounds of the stadium, blah blah blah. So mine actually was "Sympathy for the Devil."
Oh,
and,
nice.
And that was like the little caveat, and that was, "Pleased to meet you. Hope you guessed my name." And our last name is Paniatovich. And hearing a lot of those announcers try to say for the Great Falls Voyagers, Adam. Silent.
The pause was like a 7-second pause.
It was a dead second. It was a dead pause, and then hearing him try to say, but just that little snippet in there. But if I had to pick another one, I would probably do "Good, Bad, and the Ugly" and just come out there.
The best is when they did, like when they would announce it, but they'd give up halfway home. So they go, "Now pitching, Adam." Like Cher. It's like Cher. Adam. Yeah, Adam is pitching. That's it.
And then they'd hit the hotkey and play like the panic. Sympathy for the Devil all day.
You guys remember the best walk-up song ever, though, that's ever been played for White Sox?
Gordon Beckham?
Soul Glow.
Oh.
So
Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh,
yeah.
We get there for the first game with Ken Griffey Jr. And like, 'cause we're like, I mean, we grew up loving Ken Griffey Jr. And so he comes to the Sox, and you're like, fuck yeah. I know it's like he's washed, and this is the end of his career, but I know that it's going to be awesome to see him in person live. And he's on deck circle. Whoever's in front of him makes it out. And then you just hear Soul Glow coming to America. And we're just like, holy what? It was so awesome. Like, I just, like, you know that Ken Griffey Jr. was like, this is like my last stop. Fuck it. I've always wanted to do this.
So I was in college during the blackout game. You were there, right, Adam? Weren't you at the game?
We were there.
Well, I figured you were there. I remember watching that game in college. I was 19 years old, and when he hit, was it Kadire hit the ball, or was Kadire thrown out of the plate?
Kadire got thrown out.
Okay, so shallow fly, and you could see, like, as you watch Griffey, you see him start licking his lips. Like, he knows this is the throw. This is the last note. This is the last throw he's going to make.
Turn back into the kid.
Yeah, and he fired it, man. I mean, that's White Sox legend right there. He was only here for a cup of coffee or a sip of beer, but man, I'll never forget that throw.
Yeah. Great job by AJ holding on.
Because if you watch it, there's a second little hop in the throw, and AJ picks it perfectly and puts it that shit would not happen on this team. Let's just be honest. Robert would make the throw.
He threw it into the press box.
Yes, he's a very bad catcher.
They always teach you, throw it low. Just throw it low. And that's what Griffey did.
You know when someone's coming down the line, too, that's not an easy play by any means.
No,
then you gotta,
especially back then when the rules were different.
And that's still, they could blow you up time.
Yeah, very much so.
You know AJ got hard thinking about that.
He really did. Love it.
Yeah,
Shit,
he was
just
just
like,
like,
He's like, yeah, bust my lip.
Let's go.
You love that shit. Yes.
All right, next question is from Dr. Frankenducky. I think we met the good doctor last night. It's hard to remember all the people we met last night. Doctor asks, what new hobbies you all picking up while we wait for...
Spillage. The spillage was epic.
We still got more questions? Jesus.
Just a couple.
What? You
used to fucking horses back there, right?
You talked for 4 hours and we're going about 45 minutes.
I talk on TV all day. That's all. We're 20 minutes in. This is too much for you, Sammy. All right, well, we'll hydrate. Once you hydrate it so you're okay, all right?
Can we get a water for Sam?
No, fine.
He needs a White Claw.
He needs a White Claw.
Morton.
The doctor says, what new hobbies are all picking up while we wait for Thursday? That's like summer.
So I feel like I'm probably cleaning my basement because I just accepted 10 freaking boxes of new merch. If you go to FromThe108.com, click on the side link, go to the merch store, and you can fucking you go buy some of our new stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna be organizing the basement because right now they're sitting on my poor couch down there. There's like literally 10 boxes of merch just sitting there. I'm gonna put that in a good place, I think. Hopefully in your house, so buy some shit.
I love the Kiss of the Socks logo there.
Treasy, how about you? What hobbies?
I think the new hobby we're gonna have is right over here. We're gonna start doing some shots.
I like that. I respect that.
How many of these do we have?
4.
4?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, there's
Who's
some
out?
here.
Who's out?
I'll
I
not
don't
take
drink.
one. I don't need one.
Yeah, I don't drink.
Who wants it?
No, you're definitely done.
I'm not gonna lie, the minis on Kingery, you
I'm
guys
just doing
need to up
2
your
A's.
stock on 99 bananas because they had 4 left.
Oh, shit. Man.
You know what? I'm gonna admit I can't open this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I can open
Oh,
it.
we're all in the pool. We need
Actually,
a
no. I got it.
Oh, there you
Oh
go.
no.
This is how we're going to do it. There we go.
I'm just gonna
Wet rain hat, you know. That's rain in the forecast.
made that. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yep. That's how we do it in Vietnam, right here. You
Oh,
pour it
shit.
in.
Look at that. Call that a canary claw, I believe.
Yeah, this-
Cheers.
Teeth work great.
Yeah.
Cheers, folks.
Of course.
Made them both.
we gotta stop bringing athletes in here. Showing us up.
Making us look bad.
He talked about being competitive, and I was like, I'm going 15 for 15.
Yeah. He like lined up the bent the
He left it
elbow.
up there, too, just to show you.
Right, we're literally just
I
throwing it.
can't wait till we're finishing, and he's finishing up that beer, and he keeps my sock summer here so he can put his nuts in his face.
He's gonna elbow me and be like, give me some D, give me some D.
I think the hobby I'm going to develop waiting for Thursday, I'm going to attempt it 48 hours of sobriety. Oh, if I can do it. I'm not sure if I can do it,
I
but
don't
we'll
think you
try.
can do it.
We're going to give it an attempt.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun.
Next question is from Slim Mick. Slim Mick says, who will be the unlikely hero of the Sox playoffs this season? And what will the feat be that they accomplish? A la Jeff Blum, game-winning extra inning home run in the 05 World Series. So who's an unlikely hero, and then what are they going to actually accomplish?
Mick, first off, listen to the fucking goddamn podcast, would you? We discussed this already.
Well, this is a little different question than that. So we
Said
said,
who's going to be the Randy Rosarina.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
different.
But
Okay,
this is
so that would be
unlikely hero.
over the whole
This is
game.
unlikely.
So that's more of like an Artie
This is
Lang.
somewhat unlikely.
Like,
Unlikely.
over
You
the
wanna tag
whole
me in?
career.
You wanna tag me
Yeah,
in?
Sam, you go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Brian Goodwin.
Oh, I like it.
Brian
And what will Brian Goodwin do to his
Big home run. How about like the 10th inning? I think Brian Goodwin's going to be that guy. I hope he's on the roster because you can use that guy. You can hit him in several spots. I think Goodwin's going to have a big knock in this postseason.
Interesting. I think if Goodwin is not on said roster, the man who will take his place in Billy Hamilton, I think might have, I don't know, the way Tony La Russa manufactures lineups.
Like the Dave Roberts effect for the Red Sox?
Yeah,
Steals and
yeah, you know, it just the way Tony manipulates his lineup and uses every player. I'm not going to say Billy Hamilton's going to hit a home run, but
Probably won't.
like
I will tell you, because I had this too. I thought Billy Hamilton, and here's a scenario that could be like mind-blowing, amazing Billy Hamilton. Someone gets on base, someone's slow.
Yeah.
They pinch run him.
half their lineup.
Billy Hamilton scores without any hit or walk.
Yeah,
Like he steals every base.
Yeah. and you know if he steals second and third, Tony's going to let him steal home.
Right.
Yeah,
If-
100%.
if the ball is in the
100%.
dirt, he's
Yeah.
running.
He's going, yeah.
If he catches it with the glove on the dirt,
Yeah.
he's going when the catcher throws it back. He's going home.
Yeah.
How about you, MSS?
I'm
Who you got?
going with gonna stick with my answer from the podcast with the Lueri Garcia, and I'm gonna go with a double in game 2 to win the game 2. like
Okay.
the go-ahead run in game 2.
All right.
So it won't be a walk-off there.
I'm going to go on the pitching side, actually. I'm going to go with a much maligned guy, a guy who Sox fans have been rooting off the roster for a couple of years now, a back-to-the-bullpen guy. But I can see this, especially with this team, and they haven't been pressed really that hard. Their pitchers haven't, the bullpen, et cetera. Get into a Game 7, either in the ALCS or in the World Series, and a Jose Ruiz having to come in and get 7 outs during a game, run a ravaged team, and come in, get clean in the middle of the game, and kind of patch them to the end for a victory.
Love that.
I like that. I like
Love
that.
All right.
I bet against this.
Pretty hard.
Next
What do you
question.
know about gambling?
There's no stories. You're just a story guy. Saying,
All right, next question is from Soxwood. It's an interesting one. It says, if the 108ers were to convert to cannibalism, which 108er would taste the best? And what dish would you prepare using them?
I mean, this is easy. This is.
You wanna go
easy, 'cause
first,
You can
Reese?
see it right here. A My Sock Summer shoulder. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that piece. You braise that for a couple hours.
That's no question.
Oh my God, swell it off the bone. Swell it off the bone.
And you don't even
bite
really-
in at him. That's my shoulder.
You don't need a
Oh,
side.
that's all right. All right.
You don't need a side either.
No.
That
It's
is-
its own side.
Yeah, that's
Well,
the
It's
thing.
got the right amount of marbling and lean meat. I mean, it's like
Well,
perfect.
You're gonna take some butter and some of his excess fat.
yeah.
And we're gonna
Well,
render
that's
it
for the
down.
flavor. You know,
Yeah,
it's
like a sauce.
gravy. It's kind of a
You know, it's
gravy.
amazing. He's actually thought about this.
Oh, yeah. No, I think he thought about it way before this
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Oh,
I-
Just in case.
This is premeditated.
Oh, for sure.
Everyone I meet that I might end up on an airplane with, I think about how I would eat that.
We're going to Vegas and the plane goes down. Tracy's like coming over to me with a big fork. And a lighter.
You're like, we just made an emergency landing. Everyone's fine. Like we're on a runway,
You're like,
and I'm
hey.
still carving into My Sock Summer.
Have some more 99 bananas with your fucking Goose Island.
I got a little plastic knife and
Yeah.
fork from the plate, and I'm carving into My Sock Summer.
You close the drape in the aisle.
A
Sorry.
little privacy.
Yeah.
Just have in your pocket Montreal steak seasoning.
She's on some lorries.
I totally agree with you. I was thinking My Sock Summer as well.
Uh-huh.
Not only because, I mean, obviously you can see, but then I know his diet. He eats a lot of vegetables. So it's almost like grass-fed, whatever it is. So the flavors are going to really come out
There's
in that.
good marbling.
There's an adequate amount of marbling and lean meat. So you got
Is
to
this
go
not the most
together.
awkward thing you've
I guess
ever
I
I'm
would
eating meat
actually
too.
make them into steaks.
Eating your
Tracy.
own
I'm
probably
gonna make them into steaks, and then I would reverse sear My Sock Summer.
I'm almost thinking more veal chops, right? Because like
Well,
he doesn't.
no,
move
hold
around.
on a sec.
Oh wait, you know what? You
This
started
is where it
working
gets
out
a
again.
little
You started working out again, so you're not as tender as I was.
I was
Yeah.
between the two of you,
We
you
gotta
guys are
freeze.
more veal like.
How much My Sock Summer tripe do you think there is?
Oh,
We can
my
make some
God.
noodle, man. You know how good that would be, right?
Weird.
My whole gut is probably
Yeah,
tripe.
you got a lot of tripe there.
Yeah, you could feed the whole city of Pilsen, the whole area of Pilsen, with my tripe.
I'll be
Yeah.
there.
Like,
Have that carnita shoulder and donate the tripe in the noodle.
We'll donate it to the Pilsen food pantry, and they can feed the whole city.
They're like, this is better than the $8,000 you sent us.
We're gonna get a message from the Pilsen Food Pantry like we no longer want your
Please,
donation.
please stop mentioning us in your fucking perverted hot club show, please.
sponsored by Goose Island.
Yeah,
So who do you guys?
they're perfect.
I'm not eating any of you guys. I'm going to pass on that.
What? We're in a plane crash here.
Pass.
They're too young. See, here's the deal. They're like, wait a minute. Like, somebody's gonna come at me later and say, "Why did you say that?" You're like, they're passing on it. Like,
You're worried about getting canceled.
yeah,
I don't blame
now we don't care.
So,
I'm uncancelable.
Since you
anyway,
guys aren't
so-
going to answer this question, let's decide who are we eating out of these two.
the Paniagos brothers?
I think I'm eating Sam.
Adam.
And if I'm
Adam,
the,
without a doubt.
and if I'm the go-between,
That's Adam.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he's an athlete.
Yeah.
This is gonna
That's
taste. This is
you
gonna
know,
taste like.
You don't want that.
That's a lot of lean meat.
That's
That is
why
It's
we,
like a 70%.
Yeah,
that's why
yes.
you want
You
want
get
like
great tacos.
Oh,
You get great tacos.
seasoning.
But I got better pork belly.
Yeah.
That's
you
true.
want more of a grazer than you want a racehorse.
I'm gonna
right?
trust
Right.
his diet a little bit more than yours.
Yeah.
You're like mostly like Philly cheesesteaks right now.
Sam is sushi grade horse. He's ice horse. You know?
Yeah.
If it was right now, I've got a lot of Schlevo bits in my system.
Yeah, you were at a Serbian wedding last night.
Oh, I love
Nice.
some Schlevo.
You ever been to a Serbian wedding?
No.
It's a shot of Schlevo every 90 seconds.
Plum brandy.
You guys are looking good for drinking that much. I
Yeah,
appreciate
don't
it.
feel
I don't know if you guys know, but these guys are actually Albanian. So
We are not.
He said Arabian.
He said Arabian,
Yeah.
which is also incorrect. Not even the right way to say that.
All right.
Yes.
Finally, for Sammy here, the last question of the show, as always, comes from Juan Uribe's Cup. And Cup, we were hanging out with Cup last night. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, let me tell the one Uribe
I'll
story.
say after you answer.
After we, okay, sounds good. With another year in the books, please give out some 108 Visitor Awards for 2021. He wants us to tell best dressed, most flatulent, and biggest drunk. So if I can start with biggest drunk, I'll run it by you guys what you think. You might have a different answer, but when that Duke guy came down there, I think he's one of the on-tap guys.
Oh my God!
I thought he was going to drown in the water fixture next to us with the goose. Like, he was that fucked up. Like
The closest second was the guy from this weekend that tried to flip over the rail and just his shoe flew off and it went flying into like the bottom level of the goose. Like that guy's like the close second.
I thought you said trunk, not drunk, and I was like, wait a minute. So I thought you guys were talking dick size there from our guy Duke.
Wow.
Duke was
All right.
definitely
All right,
the
well,
drunkest
that
I'd
went
probably
somewhere.
seen. What, those guys, the girls that were sitting in Slump Busters and a Big and Seat last night, they might have been a little drunk too. Because when they came down and Slump Busters like, hey, you're in our seats, they were like, fuck you, that was pretty rude, bro. And then they rolled out.
Yeah, they got indignant. I was
Got real
surprised.
mad.
All right, so that's biggest
Best
drunk.
dressed, most flatulent. Someone came and farted on you this season.
Yeah, Sammy Davis Jr. 5000
Oh.
tweeted he was going to fart on me, and then fourth inning he comes and he farts right in my face.
Yeah.
So that's got to be the most flatulent guy, right?
I'm surprised he's not the most murdered guy.
I was stunned. What was I going to do? Also, his fart smelled better than you might think. I'm not
I would
gonna
have punched him in the asshole. Instead, you went Michael Jackson and just stared at his asshole.
I was gazing in.
Jesus Christ. What? Speaking about going weird, my lord.
How is that weird? That's from court documents. I'm telling legal tales here.
You can't cry weird. This whole concept is weird.
Right.
This whole concept is weird.
MSS best dressed. You had
Best
somebody.
dressed? Tommy. From fucking the Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
Like
I'll
when he
take
came
Tommy.
down in the
Shirt and tie.
shirt and tie,
Yeah.
like you told him to do.
That was our idea.
Yeah. I wish he would have done it more. I don't know if he's been to that many games since then, but like
We try to help these younger kids with their blogs and shit and their podcasts get some good ideas like this. They don't got a hot tub idea, so we got to give
If
them
you're
other
gonna
ideas.
do a
They
blog
can't
or
afford a high
podcast
top problem.
for the Sox, the best thing to do is go to no games. That's the absolute peak Sox fan. Never attend a game. So, nice work, Tommy. Going to one game and dressing up.
All right, you want to tell them on your eBay
Yeah,
story?
yeah.
So
We want to tell two stories. I want
Go
to tell
for
the Uribe story, and we got to tell the Rick Hahn Chris Gett story with him.
oh yeah, go for it.
That's
Yes,
even-
yes,
that's
go
even
for it.
How much trouble are we getting in here?
Yeah, that's when I was on my way here today. I was like, I can't throw any of my people who I've met along my path through the White Sox under the bus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And no
I'll
Willie
do my
Harris story.
best.
That story's good, but no Willie
I
Harris.
mean,
That's for everyone. When they see you in the stands, they can ask
the
you
Willie
about it.
Harris story, you can ask me in the
Great.
stands. Please, I will tell it a million times over.
It's a wonderful story.
But Willie Harris is an absolute gem of a human being. But the one Uribe, to try to keep it a Cliff Notes version of it. When I just started following you guys and knowing who you guys were to my brother and realizing who retweets your shit and who follows you guys, I came across a guy named Juan Uribe's Cup. And I was like, this guy's got to be fucking awesome. I don't know who he is. Still don't know who he is. So, my man, how you doing? And I will shake your hand down the road. My story was, I honestly don't know how old I was. It was my early teens, I would say. My dad took me down to spring training, and we were catching some games in the backfields, and we had to use the restroom. And my dad knew a lot of people in the organization just from being a state legislator and blah, blah, blah.
And it's Illinois.
And it's Illinois.
That's how it works.
It's Illinois.
Yeah.
You know? So I had the privilege of, hey, just go use the restroom in the locker room. In the locker room, in the clubhouse.
That's
So-
the access you get.
Yeah, that's the access you get with being
Did
in
you take a
Illinois.
shit? Use the
Yeah,
piss
sure.
shut up.
That would have been bad. You know what? That's what I had to do. But
Oh,
that's what I had to do. But I was so thrown off by said Juan Uribe that it kind of just went back up into my butt, and I didn't have to do too much. But my dad and I are walking into the clubhouse, and we go into the bathroom. And when you go into the bathroom, there's a longer hallway, and there's two openings on the sides. I don't know what the fuck the clubhouse looks like. I don't know what those doors are. It's the showers. So I'm walking to the bathroom. I gotta take a dump.
I like kind of see a guy out of the corner of my eye. And there's one person shouting. It's like the 5th inning, and he started the game. But like those guys, you play a couple innings, you get your feet under you, come out. He hits the showers. Well, Juan Uribe definitely hit the shower, and his cock was on the floor. It was touching the floor, dude. And then I have my dad. My dad is an exaggerator.
Yes, he is.
Very big exaggerator, and like he probably made it sound bigger than it was. But I mean, I kid you not. Whenever I saw Juan Uribe play that next year, and I was a naive 14, 15-year-old, every time I watched him play, I was like, where does he play? Like I swear, like it was
the cup. He's not wearing it. No, it is the cup.
It's like he had his own protective shield around it, and it's like it glows.
He got hit in the jump one time.
Yeah,
and they were asking him like, "Why don't you wear a cup?" And he's like, "They don't make cups my size."
Yes, and I can.
That's where the Juan Uribe's cup thing comes from.
Yes, and I swear to God, he wraps it around his waist or something. I am not exaggerating this. Like it has scarred me forever. I don't even know if I used the bathroom. I just sprinted the fuck out. Dad, you see that? He goes, yeah.
We didn't go to the bathroom for a month.
Yeah. And then my dad took the story.
Juan Uribe's cock's gonna come out the toilet. He's like, he looks down. It's like this thing doesn't even count.
That whole season, I was watching him play third base very intently. Just my curiosity. That's my. So Juan Uribe's cup, I will shake your hand someday.
All right, and then we got to tell the story about Chris Getz when Chris Getz wanted to murder Adam. This is the year like 2000. Was it 16 or 17?
16. First
16.
year.
Yeah. So Rodon that year is, remember he was on the shelf for a while.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything.
Not a hype behind.
It was quiet.
It was super quiet.
Yeah.
And I had some buddies like Burra, like he's
There you
a
go, man.
clubby down in Arizona.
Athletes right here.
Like,
Back row.
Right here.
we found out that Rodon was a lot more hurt than they let on. Like the team wasn't saying anything about Rodon. And we were saying, like, we were reporting, like, yo, Rodon is not, like, he's not healthy, he's not doing well. And then finally, once they started having Rodon throw simulated games in Arizona where Adam was getting ready, Rick Hahn and Chris Getz thought Adam was tipping me off about Rodon. But I had guys down there. I mean, the clubbies are from the South Side. So they were telling me, like, yo, Rodon hasn't thrown yet. Hey, he's throwing today. Well, they thought Adam was like the Russian spy. So tell them what happened with Getz.
So I just came in from,
and he's a rookie. He's a rookie.
This is my first year. I'm still eyes wide. This is early in camp too, and I'm just kind of assessing everything that's going on, trying to just get my placement and like figure out like when you're there, you try to figure out what team you're gonna make. Like they give you rosters like, hey, you're gonna be on the lower end, low A, high A, or rookie ball, and like I was on that kind of tweener between Arizona League and rookie ball.
Okay.
So I wanted to make, obviously you want to make it one step
whatever the
higher.
highest
I
one
want
you
to
can
get
make,
out of Arizona because I feel like Arizona is where careers go to die. If you stay in your spring training for a season,
People go to die
so
too.
people go to die in Arizona. So I just came in from throwing a sideline, a bullpen, and I thought I nailed it. I was hitting corners, I was throwing changeups, money, and Kurt Hassler, who actually is the Sox bullpen coach now, was watching me and saying, "Dude, good shit." And I was feeling myself. I get back to the locker, and I'm sitting there, and I get someone come tap me on the shoulder and go, Getz wants to talk to me. I'm like,
this guy needs
not a great sign.
I was like, okay, I was like, okay, I just do a good pen.
Maybe
Hey, what's going on here? I hop up, almost sprint to his office. He goes, I walk in and Chris Getz's office is big. It's fucking intimidating as shit. There's a big room, small desk, one chair. And he's fucking, it's right in front of him. And I'm like,
it's like backroom casting.
I love big room, small desk.
It's from back.
There's nothing on the walls. It
The whole
feels
series.
massive. The ceilings are fucking massive high. And I'm like, all right, this can't be great. I don't know what's coming. He sits me down. He goes, Adam, who is Sam Cannibalism? I was like, I mean, it's my brother. And he was like, how does he know that Carlos Rodon is throwing a 15-pitch sideline today? Like, he just like, the story that I've told so many times, like exactly what he said was along those lines, but he was pretty much saying like, are you feeding a guy named Sam Panayotovich information about Carlos Rodon? Like we were trying to keep it hush-hush. We don't want to pressure him. We don't want to do this. And I sat there for 20 minutes. And I was kind of like blacking out in the whole instance. I was motherfucking my brother the whole time. Saying like,
He texts me. He's like, "Shut the fuck
yeah,
up."
I was like,
What? Like I'm doing my
But
job.
in reality, I just called Sam and I was like, hey, Carlos, I was like, just shooting the shit with my brother, like Carlos Rodon's throwing a sideline. But I didn't know Sam had inside sources. So I thought I was getting fucking cut on the spot. On the spot. But I didn't. And Chris Getz still to this day, when I saw him like a year later in 2017, he still gives me that like.
You don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Those guys are very protective.
They are,
They don't want that stuff getting out.
Very
So I
protective.
knew. So going forward, unfortunately, like I thought Rodon was a good scoop. I knew if I said anything about Rodon, Adam's getting cut or murdered. I knew. Yeah, so I said, you know what? I will accept this muzzle.
But like
That's
it's a scoop's world, and like he gets a scoop, and like it handicaps him, but it's
The consequence needed to be his brother died for him to not use the scoop.
Yeah.
That's how far it's got to go for these guys.
I got 27 retweets on that shit.
I need my clout, baby. Come on.
Got a lot more than that.
I know.
Humble brag.
270.
Humble brag.
28.
Still made the rookie league roster. Humble brag.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wait, no. Tell them the Tatis story too, real quick.
Oh yeah, real quick. I don't want to keep this going.
Hey, this is actual
People are gonna
baseball
love
stuff.
this. People will love that shit.
So this is like
He
jerk off
texted
material.
me. He goes, you'll never forget this name.
So Tatis, in 2016 when he got, I think it was my first year he got traded. I don't know how he was 18, 19, and when you sit in that clubhouse and you see guys that are bilingual, that is a trait. I shouldn't call it a trait. That is a skill that is overlooked to be bilingual in a clubhouse. Like a manager that can speak English and then translate to you so you can speak to your teammates is something that is looked over. So you can communicate. Like communication is fucking key in baseball. And he was
Or
an
anything.
18, 19-year-old kid who had bloodline. His dad was who his dad was. Fernando we were all in the same locker row, and I was in my last name is Panayotovich, so I was in the row with Rodriguez, Perez, all like, and I was in Conyo row is what we call it. So I was always, Fernando was 2 lockers over for me, and he was just this bright-eyed kid, but when the game hit, it was unreal watching that kid lock into a fucking game. He would lock in. He was always lighthearted, but when he was at bat and he was on the field, he was fucking locked in as an 18, 19-year-old. And he was also able to speak to the Latin players that the Sox drafted. It's a heavy Latin system, and he was able to communicate with those guys. So, long story short, I come in one day from, again, another sideline, and I'm in Conyo Row, and I see, I soaked it in every day. I stayed late. I wanted to soak in the experience and everything. Yeah. That's how he was, too. He stayed late to do his plyo care. He'd do his arm care. He'd do everything. He was one of the hardest workers as an 18, 19-year-old, and it was impressive to watch. It was, you knew who he was. He had this presence about him, and you knew the last name, and it carried with him. Everything he did, it carried with him. It was, I couldn't tell you what day it was, but I came into the clubhouse, and Hot Rod, who goes to every game. I feel like you guys would really get along with Hot Rod. He's now Rick Hahn's assistant. Okay. He comes up and taps Fernando on the shoulder and goes, same thing with Getz. He goes, Chris Getz needs to talk to you. And Fernando, he probably doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Think about a 19-year-old kid. He probably thinks you're getting a slap on the back. Good job, blah, blah. Yeah. 20 minutes later goes by. He comes back, and he is emotional. He's not sobbing. Mm-hmm. You could tell he's emotional. He was drafted. He was picked up by this. He signed by this team. They produced him. They taught him everything he knew, and no one knew that he got traded. He only knew, and you could tell that something was wrong with him. And it wasn't me that went up to him and said, "Yo, what happened?" He kind of stood up and goes, "Guys, I got traded." And it was one of those moments where what the fuck did we just get rid of? And just me being a diehard Sox fan, it's we had to did we get fucking Greg Maddux in his prime?
No, we got James Shields.
That's the point of the story.
Post prime.
Once that news came out that who we got, it's what? Tatis was so emotional. He was so bought into the White Sox, and they just I don't know behind the scenes shit. I don't know it, but they just kind of felt like oh, you want an 18-year-old phenom? Here, you go take him. We'll take James Shields' contract. Like, I just I felt so bad for him, and like we still follow each other on social media. We don't communicate, but like I could tell how much he fucking hated getting traded from the White Sox, and what we got in return, dude. He ended up. We left that day. He had tears in his eyes because of how much he felt for the Chicago White Sox.
Thanks
And
for
they
ruining
gave
my
him
day.
opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great
it's a
way
good
to
story,
end.
though, man.
That's a great, it's a fantastic
Who else
story.
is talking about that? Not Scott Merkin. Nope. Nope.
I was actually just as you're telling all these stories, I'm just thinking like
How much you love James Shields?
how I do love James Shields. I'm going to just cut the last 10 minutes of this into its own thing and just put it up. Because,
Oh,
like,
man,
Yeah,
sure.
this
the
is so
stories are
fucking
terrific.
good.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, the muzzle's
And,
off
like-
because his career's over.
And the thing is too, like
You didn't even ruin it.
a normal
You tried, Sam. You know?
A normal Sox fan is gonna have to get through so much glory hole and cannibalism to get to these stories. And I think I need to bring
gotta
it
cut
out.
it by
Yeah, I need
itself.
to bring
Who
it
was
out.
the player that we got with James Shields?
Eric Johnson. No, Eric Johnson went to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who went with? I reword that. Who went with Tatis?
That was Eric
And
Johnson.
they thought that Eric Johnson was the bread and butter.
The
of that
guy.
fucking-
Trade, exactly.
And-
Oh, well, use this guy right
Take
now.
this 18-year-old and Eric Johnson.
Yeah,
All right,
but that was the last Kenny trade. Right?
Yes,
We all know
yes,
that.
That
Like,
was yes.
After that, Jerry's like, all right, Kenny, you move upstairs. Rick,
Don't
you
do
take the
this
keys.
anymore.
Yeah, we're going to start trading bad players for
Yeah.
prospects.
Sad sap story over. I love Fernando. He's a dude.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks, Kenny.
Good job, Kenny.
Speaking of thanks, thank you to both of you for
Yeah,
coming.
that's
on.
right.
Yeah.
Charles. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
This has been a ton of fun.
Yeah.
We will see you guys up at the park in a little while at 2:00. And if you're not at the park, watch all the fucking games today because it can get wild.
Yeah.
The playoff scenarios that could happen today are insane. So
Yep.
so tune in, watch all that shit, watch the Sox. I think the Bears are playing today, but
Who gives a fuck?
are they even a professional football team anymore?
Are they gonna get
But,
guard?
Well,
Buy some merch.
Who's starting at quarterback? All of them.
Nick Foles, baby.
Buy some merch from our site, from the108.com.
We'll see you soon.
Sidebar.